What's going on, guys? My name's Jack. Every videographer knows about the flickery footage glitch. In fact, it's not even a glitch. It's a built-in problem. It's a real problem. The lights, kind of conflicting with the cameras a lot of the time. Not all lights, but some LEDs. Today we're talking about it, how you can spot it, how you can go about fixing it, and just how you can be aware of this in general. Without further ado, this is the Make Money Maker Videos podcast. Full podcast below. Let's get into the clip. Welcome back to the Make Money Making Videos podcast.
Next one runs into, next question I've got is about lighting within a scene. Now,
Cool.
we've both had the same problem. I think you had it with a nightclub. And occasionally, lighting can be unpredictable within a scene. For example, if you've got fluorescent lighting, as you know, the frame rate of a camera might not catch the light properly. Yeah, you get a flicker within each shot, which can completely ruin a project. So from one professional to another, what's the best process in order to prepare for those sort of factors before you get to the scene in order to film or whatever videography job you're going to film? How would you prepare for light changes? Like for today, for example, before we've gotten to the podcast, I've completely changed this table. This is the same room where I'll do most of my YouTube videos. I've completely just changed the setup to put me in the right position so that you can see me on camera. Because if I was in my normal position, I'd make sure that I'm filming around about 11 o'clock so that the light and the sun is at the highest peak because I'm using natural light. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so you can't do that when you've got a job that you haven't been to yet. Like you can't, you can't go. I suppose you could go there, but what would be the process you would tell somebody to do in order to prepare for a job? Maybe that's too far for them to travel to beforehand. In terms of light changes within the scene or wherever you're filming.
Yeah, preparing beforehand is such a tough thing. I'm always aware of this. And on a club I shot on New Year's Eve, I had a couple of these problems where obviously every light's so different. So there's one room where I was just getting the most flicker in the world. Another room looks completely perfect because they're just using different type of LEDs. And in terms of planning before, all you can do beforehand in terms of pre-preparation for something like this is just be ready for the fact that the lighting is going to be changing. And you just need to be constantly looking at the footage. You know what I mean? If you're playing back the footage, you can a lot of the time catch it. And also, I've been in enough situations with different lights that I can actually start to tell what types of lights might give me a problem. For example, signs are almost always giving you a problem. So many of them. You might have a Heineken sign or even the sign of the club. I shot Prism nightclub on New Year's Eve. The Prism sign was flickering. Hallway lights, like those little ones at the bottom to kind of the light up the wall a tiny bit, just so it shows the pathway. That shit's flickering. You just over experience, you kind of pick this shit up. But if you haven't had enough experience to kind of tell which ones are gonna potentially be giving you a problem, I'd just be religious about looking through that footage. But also, there are little techniques to get around it. If there's a program I haven't messed with called maybe Mocha or Maca or something like that. I won't talk too much about that because I actually I haven't used it, so I'm not too sure. But I remember someone telling me you could potentially fix it with that. But you could also kind of fix that sort of glitch by duplicating the layer and putting it over to the right by one frame. And you could kind of fix it. It doesn't look perfect, but it does okay. It actually does okay. So if, you totally screw up and you're like, this is the shot, and you need that shot, and you didn't realize that the lighting fucked it up, you can fix it by duplicating the layer and switching the frame over, and you can kind of erase it. But it does look a little bit messy, but if the shot's on there pretty quick, you can get away with it. So I think number one tip before going in will be to just review the equipment. Expect that things could be going wrong. If you see some lighting that you're unsure about, it's better to be safe than sorry. Take a look at the footage. Make sure you're not getting any flickers on there. And sometimes you can't even see the flicker on the footage. That's what sucks. I've had clips where you can't see the flicker on the footage. And it's like, God damn it. Well, I did everything I could have done at that point to try and, fix this situation.
I had that problem with basically the way that the optimized media was showcasing within Final Cut. So basically, it showed me a lower level, a low quality shot. I'll do an edit, and then it would come out looking completely different to what I've just seen on screen. And that was just solely because I didn't know about what optimized and proxy media was, and it was just showing me completely different quality while I was editing, so that I could render my clips a lot quicker.
Yeah, of course.